We are at the Pulu Station in Hawaii'i Volcanoes National Park here, located off the Makaopuhi Crater Trail. And this is where around 1851 they built the structures and they started harvesting the soft, downy fibers on the hapu'u ferns. And this is called pulu. Pulu is from the hapu'u pulu fern. It comes off the fiddleheads. It's a brown, soft, fibrous, downy substance that you can use for stuffing, for mattresses and upholstery and pillows and things like that. So according to historical accounts, they would cut the fronds with a stone tool, and then they would use a bone scraper to scrape off the pulu. They would bale it into 100-pound bags. It would take about 4 men to quickly bale one bag, and then they would take it out and start large fires to dry it, and then they would press it and compact it down once it was dry so they could ship more at a time. So in this location is actually situated on the 1840 lava flow. So it was a nice open area. There was 2 fissures that happened, which was great for drying. And it was also adjacent to a really abundant forest with lots of tree ferns. And so 1 pound would be coming from about 5 or 6 hapu'u ferns, and 30 pounds was used to pack 1 mattress. Interest in Pulu really started with whaling fleets coming in. There was foresight the whaling industry was going to collapse, and so they were looking for other economic ventures, something in Hawaii to export out once it did collapse, so Pulu was perfect product for that. The Pulu Station was started by a prominent man named Lord Kaina, who was descended from Hawaiian ali'i on his mother's side, and the son of Lord Byron of England, of who the Byron's Ledge is named after. So the Pulu Station working conditions were pretty poor. They would make about $1.50 to $3 a month. Families would kind of abandon their farming and their traditional houses and come up here and live. So Pulu had a pretty big impact. It was a transitional time in Hawaii because the Great Mahele happened in 1848, shifting from traditional subsistence agricultural communities to more of a private land ownership. So the Pulu that was harvested here would make its way to the Keauhou Trail across some other trails that have since been covered by lava. It would connect to the Keauhou Trail all the way down to the coast. So we're about at 2,600 feet elevation. So they take it all the way down, it's a little bit over 12 miles. And then it was shipped either straight from Keauhou to San Francisco or to Honolulu, and then to various locations like Portland, Vancouver, and Australia. We think this station was abandoned probably due to overharvesting, because the Pulu Station here they moved away from it in the late 1860s, around 1867. So we think they moved from here to Upper Keauhou to take advantage of the hapu'u ferns over there. But the Pulu industry didn't collapse until 1885. They found the fibers of the Pulu would break down, it would cause a lung irritant, it would kind of get lumpy over time and not comfortable anymore. So I think if it had kept going, they would have just harvested all the hapu'u pulu and there would be none left today. The Pulu Station was discovered by a man named Roy Finch in 1924, who was a volcanologist at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. He was out studying the Makaopuhi and Makaopuhi craters when he came across the site. The Pulu Station is a contributing site in the Punaka'u Historic District, which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's one of the few interpreted archaeological sites located within the park. So some of the new technology that we're using to manage the site is LiDAR, which is a scanner. It takes a 3D point cloud of the site, which gives us an exact image that you can manipulate and look at all the different angles on your computer. It's amazing technology. It has a lot of applications. You can take the 3D image of the site, you can go back to your office, you can take all your measurements, you can analyze the walls to see where collapse is that might need to be repaired in the future. There's a lot of things. So you don't have to hike the 5 miles out here every time you want to study the site. You can do it from that kind of data. In 2015, we did a condition assessment at the site, and this revealed to us that it was being severely impacted by vegetation growth, and trees were growing out of the walls, and the forest was literally hiding it from view. If we didn't take action, the trees would eventually break apart the walls and cause irreversible damage. So to address the problem, we implemented a project to clear the site and save it from being lost to the forest. The project posed many challenges due to the fact that it is now in designated wilderness. The site was about a mile from the Makaopuhi Lookout, where the Chain of Craters Road once ended. The Mauna Ulu eruptions from 1969 to 1974 covered the road as well as large swaths of land. The road was rerouted in 1979, and now a trip to the Pulu Station requires a 10-mile round-trip hike. So this made our project very logistically challenging. Getting heavy gear and water and staff out there was difficult, but we overcame that challenge and we got the job done. So it was amazing to see the site come back to life, and the crew did an incredible job. Interested and prepared hikers can visit the Pulu Station via the Nepal Trail and must register for free at the Nepal or Naulu trailheads. It's a long and difficult 10-mile round-trip hike through the wilderness of Kīlauea's East Rift Zone. The volcanic conditions can change at any time, and the trail is subject to closure based on eruptive activity. To find out how to prepare for this grueling but beautiful trek, visit the Nepal page on the park website and ask for a free backcountry hike guide at the Visitor Center. And remember, the Pulu Station is federally protected by the National Historic Preservation and the Archaeological Resource Protection Acts. Take only pictures, leave only footprints, and help us protect this special site. The Pulu Station preserves a vital link to Hawaii's fascinating past.